don't know how much good information I'm going to be able to get in. But hopefully I'll be able to get a good bit in. Just checking to see if there's still movement. Yeah. Still checking. All right. This is the ethnicity and race identification form. So that you all can see, right? Race and ethnicity. This is what I'm going to be coming for. SF 181. All right. One more check just to check because I'm not. Okay, coolio. All right. So, the race and the ethnicity and race identification. Standard form 181. Right? First question it asks, are you Hispanic or Latino? And it states that is a person of Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rican, South or Central American, or other Spanish culture or origin, regardless of race. So, Hispanic and Latino are not a racial category. Okay? Then we have the racial category, and on this side, it would be the definition of the category, right? And so we have American Indian or Native Alaskan, and notice that Native American is not even a thing. You have American Indian, and you have Native Alaskan, and you also have Native Hawaiian. Mind you, these are both, natives are all, according to this, the natives are on the West Coast. Nowhere on the East Coast. But anywho, what is an American Indian or Native Alaskan? A person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central America, and who maintains tribal affiliation or community attachment. Now, mind you, race is nationality. So let me place that up here. This is about nationality right here. Not tribalism. They're not the same thing. Okay? So, are you a know-nothing or Inuit, Bering Strait people? Are you American Indian or Native Alaskan? Supposedly, these people are what's called made in America. They ain't never been, supposedly, they've never been anywhere because they were created here. And what actually creates them is the North grouping here in America. Okay? All right. Next, nationality is Asian, or your racial, classification. And by the way, this sets your commercial status. at home and abroad. Okay, Asian. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of the Far East, Southeast Asia, or the Indian subcontinent. So we just found out that India is in Asia. Indians are from Asia. I don't know what that is. Just saying. Including, for example, Cambodia, China, India, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Pakistan, the Philippine Islands, Thailand, and Vietnam. All right. Then we have black or African American. So what is black or African American? African American is a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. Did anybody catch that? A person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. So there must be some type of black racial group in Africa. Okay. Then we have Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander. This is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Hawaii, Guam, Samoa, or other Pacific islands. Okay. Well, white. White doesn't talk about American Indian, Alaskan, Asian, African American, Hawaii. It doesn't even have the same classification. It literally just says white. So white must be a national status. It must be. It must be a race classification. All right. So who's white? A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, right? Most of us already are aware of that. But where else? Middle East and North Africa. So why does a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa? But hold on. What's this? So black is the person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. But white has white groups of Africa. North Africa. North Africa. So let's take a moment to consider that. We can get rid of this now. North Africa. Well, what's in North Africa? Morocco, Mauritania, Libya, Sudan, Egypt, again I said Mauritania, all up in if this is Africa, all of this region, right? This would be Morocco, this would be Mauritania, this would be Libya, this would be the Sudan, this would be Egypt, etc. This would be Ethiopia, whatever. right? So white concerns these people here when it comes to North Africa. So the black racial groups, where are they? Where are they? Is it in the Ivory Coast? Is it in South Africa? Where is it? You know? And the funny thing about North Africa, and then, if you know the map, right up in here, right, going up in it, that's all Europe right here. If you go on over here, that's all Asia over here. Europe, the Middle East, this would be considered this would be the Middle East, right, going into Asia, whatnot, right? North Africa, Europe. This is all Muslim territory. This is all Muslim territory. So, what does that teach us? What does that show us? Well, I'm going to show you what that tells me. That's what that tells me. Anyone with white status is under Islamic rule. Or and let's translate this into English. Your racial classification, because white means pure and clean. Black means blemished, colored, stained, tarnished. Basically meaning that its civil status is dirty. It's a debtor. Black is a debtor classification. Right? So now, I'm coming out of here. This is to show the Moorish Americans and all other Muslims, and just generally anyone who desires to know the truth about what is supposed to be going on with the Moors, right? This is just to let y'all know what exactly Noble Drew Ali says about this. And so we're going to read. I want to check and make sure this is the one I wish to read. No. All right. It's chapter 45. The divine origin of the Asiatic nations. Asiatic, mind you, just to, because a lot of Moors, they get lost on that. They want to be Asiatics. They want to say they're Asians, but then we also say that we're North African, and they don't understand that white means Afro-Eurasiatic. Why did I put Europe in there? Because Europe is an extension of Asia. And Europe is the area where Africa and Asia connect. Right? And Drew Ali was sent to help the Afro-Asiatics. Okay? Which again, North Africa, Europe, Middle East. This is called the divine origin of the Asiatic nations. And this all applies to the standard form 181. Okay. 1. The fallen sons and daughters. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America. So there are Afro-Asiatic people here in America, right? Need to learn to love instead of hate and to know their higher and lower selves. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca Here's one because I keep getting a lot of these brothers and sisters trying to bring the Moorish Americans into the Arabized understanding of Islam, even though Drew Ali Americanized it. Just so that y'all can will be aware. Drew Ali said that Chicago is now our Mecca. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America was, what's the word I'm looking for here? Yeah, we'll say registered in Chicago, Illinois. All right, August 1st, 1928. I think at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Anywho, this is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca for teaching and instructing all Moorish Americans etc. The key of civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nations. What is the purpose of this phrase? What does it mean to be Asiatic? Simple. That's what that means. Anyone on earth, anyone who is a man or woman on the land and in honor with their states or their countries is deemed an Asiatic. Because Asia, the word in and of itself, just means a land mass. And this is one of the ancient names of Earth. All right. He says the Moorish, who were the ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. Did North Africans found Mecca in Asia? No. So where did the Moorish Americans found Mecca? Chicago. The Egyptians, who were the Hamathites and of a direct descendant of Mizraim. The Arabians, the seed of Hagar, Japanese and Chinese. The Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanites Hittites, and Moabites of the land of Canaan, or Canaan. Hold on. Let me put this back up here. All right. So let's run that back one more again. The key of civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nations. The Moors, who were the ancient Moabites, who were the founders of the city, holy city of Mecca. The Egyptians, who were the Hamathites, and of a direct descendant of Mizraim, the Arabians, the seed of Hagar, Japanese and Chinese. Now, mind you, Hagar was a North African. She was an Egyptian. The Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanites, Hittites, and Moabites of the land of Canaan. Now, he just called the Moorish Moabites, and he called the Hindus of India Moabites. Okay? This is where we get all of this stuff from. Because it's really, excuse me, but they're not going to tell you that. All right. The Asiatic nations of North, South, and Central America, the Moorish Americans, and the Mexicans. Hold on. And the Mexicans of North America, the Brazilians, Argentinians, and Chileans in South America, the Colombians, the Nicaraguans, and the natives of San Salvador in Central America, etc. All of these are Muslims. Nothing to do with tribes whatsoever. All right. It says the Turks are the true descendants of Hagar, who are the chief protectors of the Islamic creed of Mecca, beginning from Muhammad I. Now check it. Check it. Check it. They are the founders of the Islamic creed of Mecca. Baha'u'llah was a Turk who came to the Moorish Americans to teach them about their connectedness as a Muslim. He says, beginning from Muhammad I. All right, Baha'u'llah was a Turk. Right? The founding of the uniting of Islam by the command of the great universal God Allah. So we learn that the Mexicans of North America, as well as the Brazilians, Argentinians, Chileans of South America, the Colombians, the Nicaraguans, and the natives of San Salvador and Central America, all of these are Muslims, right? Meaning, uh, yeah. Okay. So according to this, let me check. Yeah, we're still moving. All right. According to this Moorish information, all of these North, Central, South Americas, right? Right. All of these people are white, right? Now, mind you, right? According to here, right? Speaks for itself, right? And then we have the non-racial classification where it's asking an individual whether they are. And these people deal with okay. So now let me read this. The Asiatic nations of North, South, and Central America. And then he classifies and he says the Moorish Americans. My apologies. All right. So he says the Moorish Americans, the Mexicans, these are the North Americans. Right? Then he goes to list who? Brazilians, Argentinians, Chileans, Colombians, Nicaraguans, San Salvador, and all of Central America, right? He's saying all of these people are of the Asiatic nation. So Asia must not necessarily mean that land over there, right? He's saying that all of these nations in America are under Muslim rule as white status. So the Europeans, they were under Moorish rule. Asia, they were under Moorish rule. North Africa, under Moorish rule. Pre-1491, Europe, Asia, and North Africa were in the Americas. They've established the estates under Islamic faith, trust and faith. And in Islamic trust and faith, all are born with this status, which means okay? Okay? Just wish to bring that to y'all attention, right? Because we got all of these wick, whack Moors out here teaching something else, teaching stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what Drew Ali brought to them. All right? I'm trying to show y'all so that y'all don't take on that BS that's going on out there, with these foreign Muslims who act as they say that they are Moorish American, and yet they're not following the national standards of the Moorish Americans or the Muslims. These knuckleheads don't even understand. They don't allow for Europe to be part of the Moorish nation. But they'll tell you how the Moors rule Europe. Well, then what are the children of those? You think that these people were up there in Europe all for what, 700-800 years? They ain't planting no seeds? You know what I'm saying? But anywho, it's knucklehead bullshit. You know what I mean? Pardon me. So all of this, and this was just a short dissertation, but all of this is to show and prove that white status, that's the sovereign status. Right? That's the free status. That's the state status. That's the national status. That's the creditor, trustee, beneficiary status. Right? This is the Muslim status. Muslims follow the great law of Islam. Let me so you can see it. Great Law of Islam. In English, it's that. In Arabic, damn, I just. This is Islamia, and anglicized, it would be Islamism. Ism means doctrine. So Islamism is the doctrine of sovereign, free, pure, clean, unblemished, national, creditor, Muslim status. You know, all you have to do to be a Muslim is to be a peacemaker and unifier. That's it. That's all you have to do. So there should be a word in your language that translates to this without having to say, hey, I follow Islam. No, because it's not about the name, it's about the principles. So in English, a Muslim is a peacemaker and unifier. Who do you know in America using English who called themselves that? Oh boy, called himself a peacemaker and unifier. I don't know if you know. Take a moment to see what's going on. See if any questions were asked. Anything of that nature. Let me see. Appreciate y'all for the love to 100. All right. Okay, let me see if I can bring that person on. Hopefully they're still on here. If not, so be it. Let me see here. Not right now, brother. Let me see. There was a brother named Robo. Wasn't able to bring him in. Let me see. Is it hard to? Oh, it is hard to see the board. It is too far away. My apologies. But I pretty much read the things that were on the board as they were on the board. If you're still there, what I can say to you is that if you wish to review the information that I stated, get yourself a copy of the standard form 181 and Holy Quran, More Science Temple of America. These are the two articles that I'm utilizing at this particular point. Let me see. Is that too hard to see as well? Okay. And you know what? I see why. My apologies, y'all. So I ain't even think to clear that out. No, we don't wish to have that either. We just wish to. Let me see if I can get that off my feed. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that, so let me see. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. All right, I like. Okay, all right, yeah. Hopefully that'll be a little better for now. I do honestly feel that Donald Trump as well has done some studies, and I state this because I've done my own studies. I'm a sheikh of Islam, and the nature of the things that he does and he says is like that of a Muslim. Absolutely. You know, let me see here. All right. Let me get rid of that. All right. So, we offer this at a new fame. These two, right? You can get this for $50 plus shipping. When you purchase this, we also, as a token of our appreciation, right, and in an effort to assist you in your learning, we also give to you free of charge the Wise Concise Trustee Handbook dealing with common law express trust. Right? So that's the website. This is the tab on the website that you'll find those products. This is the YouTube channel. Both of these links are in my bio, on my profile, right? So, like this right here, this discussion that is being had is going to end up here. And some of them also find themselves on the site, right? So, I'm telling you that the links are in the bio, okay? As well, for your own personal review, we have PDFs of the Holy Quran, of the MSTA, 101s, Moorish Guide or Moorish Literature, which is the Moorish Guide newspaper. And what else? Oh, yeah. In Arabic, we would call them ahadith, right? But these are the oral statements, right? And prophecy. So these are actually, you can download these for yourselves, right? It won't be like this. It will be in its original form, the way that I found it, right? But if you're not, if you can print on your own, right? Boom, there you go. You've got this whole thing right here, Right there. Right? This is different because this has constitutions, treaties, and government applications. Yeah. But again, for the most part, you're paying for the service. Where can I get the standard? So as a okay, coolio. The standard form is also in PDF form on the site. That is also on site. Um, Hope that answers your question. Oh, wait a minute. Most welcome, beloved. Most welcome. Most welcome. So, uh, there's other things that you can get on the site as well. Download it, right? The Moorish Guide. It's gonna say the Moorish literature, right? Which when I came into the movement, every time I heard that phrase, I thought that the Moorish literature was like this would be considered all the Moorish literature, but no, what it really is the Moorish Guide newspaper articles. There are 48 of them. I found a couple of others, but there are 48 of them. And so, understanding that the Moorish Guide newspaper is the voice of the movement, it is there that you will find everything that you need to know that concerning what Drew Ali's movement was about. And so we can stop listening to. I'm gonna just say it. We can stop listening to Taj, Tajiri, Raz Mariah, Cujo, and all these other Jamal. I know he ain't no more, but regardless, we can stop listening to these people and start listening. And we can start listening to this person, right? Instead of, and we can stop dealing with this right here, right? Drew Ali told you that in the oral statements and prophecies, Drew Ali was alleged to have told the people, "I did not tell you where I was from, where my parents were from, or where I was born, because I did not wish for you to make over my mother and father like you did Jesus, or to make over their place like it was a shrine." And then we get in the 101s that he says that this is where he says somewhere in the state of North Carolina. This is not specific. So he did this for those people to know, for those people to not, because they were so boogie woogied out. Right? He gave them this with no real reference so that they would not go. But those who know, and he knew that his children in the third, fourth generation would find out. If you ever get yourself, and I have this information as well, if you ever get your hands on a copy of here, look, so that you can actually look it up yourself, right? the U.S. Northland Ship Manifest, right, which went to Havana, Cuba, and back. And when so it left from and it docked back in Key West, Florida, right? I don't even have it printed out, or I just show you, but I do have it. And you'll see on the ship manifest, right? It'll have the last name, then it'll have the first name, then it'll have the birth date. And it'll have the birthplace. And it'll have the place where the people are coming from. And then you'll see under this brother's name, you'll see right, and all of his stuff. I can't recall where he was born or whatever, and all of that. But if you look up this ship manifest, I found it on Ancestry.com. That's how I gained a lot of this information to separate my information from the from the boogie woogie information. That is out there. Peaceful greetings. How y'all doing? I get to you soon.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Damn, you're speeding. No, on back of me. No, some lady.
So how can I assist the beloveds?
Yeah.
Sister as I grow.
This is
Is
my
there anything you would like to speak
time.
about, love?
This is the second time I've been in your live, and
Yes, I've seen you and I appreciate you.
yeah, I appreciate you. At the time I am studying with the Moorish American government. I'm on their conference call, so I have
yes, ma'am.
I have the exhuming of a nation. I have the Quran, the Hadiths. I have
I got this book of trash too, sis. No disrespect. I got the book of trash too.
Wow. Well, we all learn. We learn things, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know, the intention is to discredit Nathaniel. Just shortly. There's some of the information. So there's truth and falsehood strangely mixed in there. Without getting too deep into the personal issue with Nathaniel.
Right.
Right. We'll just keep it on a governing level. He changed the doctrine. He changed what Jurali presented, and then he presented it to the people as if that's what Noble Jurali presented.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to do your own study and you were to come across the original, as a matter of fact, you said you have the exhuming of a nation. So in the back, he has all of Jurali's information. And you will see, right, you will see that there's a copy of the original Constitution, Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Right? And in that original publishing, you'll see that Jurali says, the Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet, etc. Now, Elihu changed that and said the Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No, he didn't even say the Moorish Science Temple of America. Let me rephrase that. He says the Grand Sheikh and the chairman of Moorish America are in power. And so is means one, R is meaning more than one. He's the one who got everybody out here screaming Moorish America. This is not Moorish America. This is America.
Okay. Okay. I could.
The word Moor is in America. It would be redundant to even call it Moorish America.
It seems to be a debate on America, Moorish American, American, Moroccan. It's a lot going on.
Yeah,
You
I've been
know.
in this movement. I've been in this movement since 2012. I came in
Okay.
this movement trying to discredit it. I bullshit. I
Okay.
BS you not. I tried to discredit it. I thought it was another Negro movement. I'd had
Mhm.
enough of that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I was dealing with the Nation of Islam, 5% Nation of Gods and Earths, um,
Right.
Hebrew Israelites, the Nuwabians. Right? I did
Yeah.
some time upstate, and I'm learning this. I never heard of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Right? So then I get
Right.
home. I'm out. I'm learning, and I had already declared myself at that point. I was supposed to be an atheist, but my heart belongs to Islam.
Mm.
So I could not really get away from it, but I
Mhm.
never, And so then
Mhm.
it was brought to my attention about this guy named Drew Ali and blah blah
Right.
blah. And I'm like, yeah, he's some more niggas,
You know.
right? And so I went to go look at it because I wanted all the smoke.
Right.
I wanted all the smoke, right? I'm autistic, not so much so that I don't know what I'm talking about, right? But so much so that my mind will key in on certain things. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to bring that to. So I called myself trying to bring that information to some of the individuals that I began learning from. And what I found out, what I realized, because I am a true observer, is that none of this shit they're talking about is anything that Drew Ali was talking about. They kind of throw his name in there. They use some of the information that he's presented, right? Which kind of it's like a fishing rod, they'll get you in with the bait, and then you get to talking about Moorish America, and you know why Nathaniel Pleasant Bay is trying to get a seat at the UN, and that man told us that Drew Ali brought us the wrong flag. You hear me?
Hmm.
That flag that he took, he tells you this is not our ancestral flag.
Mm.
He tells you that that this is our national flag.
Exactly.
This is not our national flag.
Okay.
So if Drew Ali is seen with numerous times with this flag upside down and in his hand, and you're telling me about Drew Ali's movement, why would you tell me that what he brought was wrong and that what you bring in is right? What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So Elihu, like they're just doing. So this is nothing different than what the Nation of Islam has done to the Turkish flag.
Mm-hmm.
The Turkish flag with the Nation of Islam is upside down, which means the people are they are what's the word here? Basically, that means that they're being oppressed, right? They're not operating, and
Okay.
then they place letters on it.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's what old boy did. He placed letters and a sword on it.
Okay.
You know where else we see this symbol at? Have you ever seen anything like this?
Yes.
So you see,
Right.
they're mixing a lot of information and they're spinning the heads of those who don't know, and they're keeping them away from the truth.
Right.
So when I came into this movement and I found out that a lot of the people who were talking about Ali and his movement weren't preaching what he was talking, because I did the same thing with Jesus when I was in prison. That's what allowed me to leave Christianity because I was young when I was in prison. and I was scared to leave Christianity. Right, I still had that boogie woogie in my mind that some
Mm-hmm.
sky daddy was going to, do something to me if I left
Mm-hmm.
Christianity. So I read the entire Quran, entire Bible front to back, old and new. And when I got to studying Jesus, I'm like, yo, the stuff that they're teaching ain't the stuff that he talking about.
Right.
And I got that from I didn't even get into like the Apocrypha
Right.
at the time. So that's what's going on, beloved.
Okay.
It's good to hear the information. You
Right.
know,
But you gotta
um,
you gotta do your own
you
critical
have to do your
thinking
own due
all the
diligence.
time. Yeah, when I
R.V. Bay, R.V. Bay teaches mixed doctrine. The
uh-huh.
Nation of Islam teaches mixed doctrine. Uh, the Moorish American, whatever they want to call themselves, government
Right.
practices mixed doctrine. Canaan Land Moors, the Great Seal, anyone running around with that clock of destiny information,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're teaching mixed doctrine,
Hmm.
and it's mixed in as much as they'll say that. First of all, they'll call all pale skinned people Europeans. Like like Muammar Gaddafi was pale skinned, and he was a Libyan, so he was a North African. Pale skin does not mean European.
Right. Well, our skin hue doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Absolutely. And that is
So
the nature
right.
of Islam. In Islam, this means nothing. Everybody family.
Exactly.
Everybody's family.
Because you're
That is
all
the truth of Islam.
under one umbrella. Everybody under
Absolutely.
one thing. When I'm probably going on my third year. See, so
Okay.
I just came in, right? I'm a little fresh.
Right.
So I dibble and dab and jump around and I listen to a
As you
lot of
should.
people, right? So what I
Uh-huh.
decided to do was I said, well, let me start looking for things about Noble Drew Ali. And so some
Mm-hmm.
things did come up. I remember reading how he was a magician and
Yes.
he moved around with the circus, quote unquote.
Yes.
And then with that, I feel, just with critical thinking, yes, he's been many places and done many studies. Of course,
Right.
you can't
If you
be
know
somewhere
anything,
and just don't pick up on what's going on from others.
right.
And then
But here's something, just not to
Mhm.
cut your wisdom.
No, no, fine.
They all try to tell you that Drew Ali went to Egypt.
Yeah,
That's bullshit.
okay.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to write it down. Right? Egypt came to Drew Ali.
Ah,
Okay? There was a man named Abdul Hamid Suleiman. Okay?
mm-hmm.
And he was an Egyptian high priest. He was Sudanese. He
Okay.
came to the Americas in the early 1900s. And after about 5 or 10 years or so, he had made a statement that that the people walking around with those fezzes on, he said whether they were Negroes, white, or whatever, he said that they had an invalid form of dealing with masonry and Shrinerdom. Okay? And so that he was coming to present the truth. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Abdul Hamid Suleiman and his countrymen, Deuce Muhammad Ali, these two brothers who are both Sudanese Egyptians, these are the teachers of Drew Ali and of Marcus Garvey.
Hmm.
This one wore the fez with the like I just showed you with the sword on it.
Uh-huh.
Deuce just wore a plain fez. You see, so Egypt came to the Americas to link the Negroes back with the Turks and the Syrians and the other Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Ali, Abdul Hamid Suleiman established the old Canaanite temple, not Drew Ali. In the newspaper articles, so I have more than one. This is my verification. You know, if I ever need to show somebody, you just talking out your ass? No, I have
Mm-hmm.
the information, right? So Abdul Hamid Suleiman said that at this current time, we have established a temple in New Jersey, and we are establishing mosques in New York. So that man just said that he established that temple in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? He didn't have to go to Egypt because Egypt came to him.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. This is just, I like to demystify what I call the boogie woogie. Ooh, right? I don't you like that? I
Yeah,
don't deal with
because
the boogie woogie, you know what I
I
mean?
don't like it either. It's like I have a good friend, and she always
Mm-hmm.
wants me to meditate and
Yeah. That's a
do
good
all
friend
these
right there.
things. Yeah, she's a good friend. And I told her, I said, listen, I don't feel like floating in the sky. I need to keep my feet on the ground right now. I'm trying to see what's going
When you
on.
meditate, you don't go up,
You go
you don't go
within.
down,
Right.
you go
You
in.
go within. Yeah. And I totally understand it. But I thought it was funny because it'd be a joke between me and her. I'd be like, no, I'm staying on the ground today, you know.
No, I get
But
it. I get it.
but it's at the end of the day, it was the greatest secret held that majority of the world knew and held on to. And it's just
Man, right?
we couldn't figure it out, but now we are. Now we're figuring it out.
So what I tell everybody is that what Noble Drew Ali did for us is he took the information and he came to us to say, hey,
Yeah.
that's what he did. He came to the inner cities first. It wasn't the fraud Muhammad. That's for anyone else who might see it who has an issue. It wasn't the fraud Muhammad or
Right.
Elijah, none of them. They
Right.
weren't the ones to come to us in the inner cities. As a matter of fact, I have a picture of Elijah Poole Bey, now known as Elijah Muhammad, standing in the ranks in the Moors behind Drew Ali
I know
in
it.
1920. I think it
Yeah.
was in 1928.
Yeah. Sounds right.
So
I
they
mean, I
right.
looked
So
some stuff up. They were wearing fezzes. They took
absolutely.
those fezzes off. And
But
when
but
you got
they
a
took them
jewel,
off for a good reason, though.
yeah.
All right, so I don't want to say I'm not going to. Well, I mean, yeah, fuck it, I'll say it. So there was a lot of Moors causing havoc. That's why Drelly didn't die in 1929. But I'll leave that for another day. So when he left in 1929, it was because everybody who was in the movement was turning. They were turning over. They were stealing. All right, and they were warring, so they were reducing the movement that he brought to nothing
Right.
by making us seem radical and agitating. And so
Yes.
the Moors were known to go to war with the police. And so,
Right.
in order to separate themselves
Of
from
course.
all of that mischief,
Of course.
right, they began to tell the people, take your fezzes off,
That's right. Of
right,
course.
because we're not them.
Right. I was getting I was
But
gonna
but
I
he
was
was
gonna get to
them.
that. I'm a there was a I can't remember. It was a scroll that was given to me and when I was younger and I was asked to read it. My memory's bad. I'm an old lady now, and there was a drawn picture in there of I'm gonna say a person. I'm not gonna
Okay.
give the origin of the person because we're on TikTok. But there was a person standing behind a tree, right? And then there was one person standing on the other side of the tree and another person on the other side of the tree. The person behind the tree was throwing rocks at both of the people, both of the persons standing, and they turned to each other and wanted to fight each other. And they never saw the person behind the tree. And so that really stuck in my mind. Oh, I'm 58 years old and I'm talking to you like I just read it yesterday. That stuck in
Right.
my mind the whole time. How one person could start havoc between two other people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
you have to be weak minded and you have to be off your square in order for
Right.
that to happen. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Real quick, beloved.
Uh-huh.
Swift. There's another individual on the feed. Swift, are you there? Swift? Okay, maybe not. So I'm gonna drop you off. Swift? Is that Swift? Yeah, it says Swift.
That's
Okay, they're not here, so we're gonna
down too.
say what now?
I'm gonna drop down too. It has been
You were
powerful.
talking, love, but
Yep.
okay, no problem.
It's I have my dogs are in the living room being very restless. So I'm
Okay,
gonna go tend to them. I have a pit bull and a rat terrier. And they're taking
okay.
them crazy in there. And I will
I
be in your
use
next live. Gratitude for the room.
absolutely.
Peace and love.
Before,
Islam.
peace and love, sister Islam. All right. With that, if no one, oh, wait a minute, I have other individuals trying to come up here too. No, Yusuf, bring you up here, and Kamula,
Islam family.
Islam. How you doing, beloved?
I'm good, brother. So I just came in when you were talking about the Noble Drew Ali, and you were saying that you didn't want to say that part. I was really intrigued to see, hear what your thoughts on that.
What part was I going? Because I don't
Just about
recall.
like it was very interesting because you said at the time the Moors were wearing the fezzes, and because of them not holding up the principles, they told them
Right.
to take the fezzes off. So I just wanted to hear you go more in depth on
Oh,
that
okay.
because
So the part that I was talking about, basically, uh, so Drew Ali left. He left the movement. Well, he left the movement with Emil Hill in July of 1928. I believe we're 29, and he did so because he had business he had to attend to in India. But more so because just like the story of Jesus, when he was talking to his disciples, it was like, yo, man, if I don't go, then the comforter ain't going to come. All of this will be for naught, etc. Um, Hold on, I'm trying to get some things together so that my phone don't die while we talking.
no problem.
But so you had Moors like Lomax Bay, Claude Green, Bay. You had all these Moors who were against the Prophet. Pearl Drew Ali, right? A lot of Moors get mad when I put her out there, but an enemy of the Prophet's an enemy of mine. So even his wife,
Right. Wow.
right? She was smashing Claude Green. And Drew Ali was out in the world like, yo, I need this bread. And they wasn't sending him the bread, which is why he had to come back to begin with. And then when he came back, they had him all hyped up on false charges, like he didn't. Hey, look, I don't know. Maybe he did make the hit on Claude Green. I wouldn't be mad if he did. I would understand. But anywho, long story short, everyone who was a part of the movement was embezzling, and they were causing mischief, and they were taking his members this way, that way, and they were inciting riots.
Wow.
Right. And so, because of this riot inciting, the police obviously had to come do what they were doing.
Right.
Now, these were infiltrators who were intentionally placed into the movement to cause this havoc.
Right.
So in 1930, the Detroit Temple, Morrison's Temple of America, Branch Temple number 4, was reorganized as the Temple of Allah number 1. Do you know what that is?
I know they got various temples in I know over there in Chicago, like they made that the new type Mecca. Like I
Mecca.
know it's a lot going on, so that's why I want to talk to
Right.
the elders because y'all was there. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro, I wasn't.
I
I'm
mean, not there,
42,
but you
baby.
got more insight than me as being a younger brother. You know what I'm
Absolutely. All right.
saying?
So the Temple number 4 in Detroit was ran over. It was taken over, and it was reorganized as the Temple of Allah number 1. That's the mother. That's the parent company of the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
So they stole the Prophet's temple, tore it down, and made something else.
Right. I'm familiar with, how they Farah Muhammad came in, Elijah Poole Bay was
Yeah,
there. I just
yeah,
don't have like those in between, because I know it had to be other stuff because they was on a roll, you know what I'm saying? Like they had
yeah.
the answers to the test, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? So why would you
Right.
mess up that?
So now listen, right? Because so when all of these Moors who wanted to stay Moors and rock the boat and screw things up, they was out there warring, right? So now Elijah, he don't want to be a part of that, right? We talking 1934, 1940. That was about the time when they removed them fezzes,
Right.
right? And so hearts to you too, whomsoever. And so in order to make sure that they weren't being, because they had a lot of the Moors followed him into those. I mean, it was already the Moor Sons Temple of America before they changed it up.
Right.
So he already, from 1930 to 1940 or whatever, they had enough Moorish Americans already in there, right?
Right.
By 1940, it was like remove the fezzes. We gonna be on something else because they didn't want the smoke.
I understand that.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
Right.
then they denounce some what's the word I'm looking for here? In some renditions of the story, Elijah Muhammad was supposedly to have said that they didn't know anything about the Moors until like 1934 or 40. I don't know how true that is, but it would be stupid for anyone to try to say that it was true because there are pictures with Elijah Muhammad in the ranks of the Moors.
Right. And just even his name, it was Elijah Poole Bay. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but 1 second, damn. Yeah, so this information is not openly expressed because they don't want anybody to know that the Moor Sons Temple of America is the parent company.
Okay.
But we have things like in the nation of, because I was part of the Nation of Islam, and I was a part of the Nation of five percenters.
Okay.
They like to use the supreme mathematics, the supreme this, the supreme that, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, Noble Drew Ali in his literature, he already used the phrase supreme law and supreme words.
Right.
He
Noble Drew
already
Ali
had
was definitely at the
101.
head of all this stuff, bro. Like as I do my research, Noble Drew Ali was at the head of all this stuff, man. He had everything, like pretty much like figured out. Like even told us so much that the other half wasn't told. Like that's how deep his studies were.
So that's how deep my studies are because I realized the half wasn't told, but I realized that the half that he gave me was all I needed to get it.
Right. Well, that's what we all need.
And so
Yeah.
I'm out here giving out that other half. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Absolutely. So Drew Ali is not the only prophet. Marcus Mosiah Garvey was considered a prophet. We can say Deuce Muhammad Ali was considered a prophet, which was both of their teachers. Prophet just means president or presiding officer or principal trustee. You know what I'm saying? governor, president, all of these have the same meaning. Drew Ali was a prophet. He was the presiding officer to us because nobody, you had people like W.E.B. Du Bois and other Negroes who were misleading the people. And so Ali's like, I'm going to bring you out, right? What's his name? Marcus Garvey came and he gave us the foundation of nationalism, which is to privatize and to securitize and to organize as a people for the common good of the people.
Right.
Drew Ali came and gave us the nationality to go with it, because your religion is your ecclesiastical authority. It's your right to do business.
Right. Church and state is separate. Correct. I got you.
No, they're not. That's what Ali is trying to teach you, is they're not.
Well, they are.
In Islam, they're not.
Well. Just I'm saying, right? We can't go off of what we're going to talk about in the 1930s. Right now, in today's time, in
Islam,
church,
brother.
I get what you're saying, but today,
period, all over the world.
No. The laws of the land right now, church and state are separate, brother.
Right. That's the Roman yoke that Drew Ali's pulling us out of, brother.
Okay, so in order to pull ourselves out, how are we going to have to pull ourselves out, brother?
By understanding that church and state are one, brother.
No, by understanding,
which is what I was trying to explain to you.
By understanding that we need law. Church and state will always be separate, because somebody's belief, they can have their belief, but the law is the law.
Produce your proof to that.
What's my belief?
Is that Islam?
What's my proof?
Islam?
What are you talking about? That's law, international law.
No. See, there's Drew. All right, have you ever? All right. Have you ever read in the Quran the Circle 7 yet?
Yes, I've read them all, bro.
So you see that Drew Ali is telling us that we're returning Christianity, that we're not trying to amalgamate into their orders, right? He's telling us that Jesus was crucified according to the Roman yoke and law, and that Jesus' teachings and his works were fulfilled by Muhammad the Conqueror, right? He's telling us that the church, the Roman Catholicism, teaches born in sin, which is debt, and they teach the separation of church and state, even though in reality they're one. In Islam, the religion and the politics, church and state, they run together.
Okay, well, so
this is
if you're saying that you want a man of faith or a woman of faith within the role of government, that's okay. That's what you're saying. But when you're saying the entity,
that's not what I'm saying.
Hold on. Okay, well, the entity called church and the entity called state, those are two different things. Your belief has nothing to do with state rights, brother. That's the truth.
So that's what you came. That's okay. You would like to?
No, I didn't come here to do anything. I came here to get some information about those people. But I do know international law.
You're imposing upon me your understanding.
No, I'm imposing you to it.
Even though I'm expressing to you that there's a difference, and you're just denying the difference.
No, I'm not denying the difference. I'm not denying the difference.
So in Islam,
no, you keep saying
church
Islam.
and state
Islam is a religion.
are one, brother.
Islam is a religion. Noble came to teach nationality.
Bro. Islam is your economic security, bro.
Nationality
Islam is your
with religion.
It's your do you understand ecclesiastical?
I do understand that. It
means your right. It means your right to do business. So what are you talking about?
So okay. Nationality. What does nationality mean, brother?
It means that I'm a part of this state.
Okay,
I'm a Pennsylvanian.
So state and church are different.
What do you mean? The Constitution is a fucking religious doctrine. So
what Constitution do people in church have? Do they have whatever doctrine they have? Hold on. Do they have 3 branches of government? Do they have elected officials?
Look, check this out. Right? I'm not here to argue with anybody.
Yeah, because you don't know
someone who just came into the movement, beloved.
You don't know.
So with all due respect, I'm gonna just drop you.
That's no problem.
I mean, you can go argue with somebody else, beloved.
You don't got nobody in the room.
Absolutely, peace and love.
You don't know nothing.
I don't know anything, but you can't. All right, these niggas.
You about to drop me? I'm not running from you. You're running from me.
That's the issue that we have with these Moors out here who swear they know everything and don't be knowing nothing at all, man. 100, man. I'm not here to argue with nobody. If that brother feels the way he feels, let him feel the way he feels. I'm going to teach it according to my 26 years of Islamic understanding and my 13 years of understanding in this movement. That's how I come in. All right, so it's going to be what it's going to be. But if the brother's still on the live, let me explain. Christianity separates church, which is trust and estates. Excuse me. Which is trust, belief, faith, trust. That's what we're dealing with. And state, which is estates. Christianity teaches you that these two things are separate. The brother is arguing with me that in Islam they're supposed to look just like Christianity. In Islam, and Islam is the doctrine. So in the doctrine of Islam, the faith and the people are one. Faith, trust, faith, full faith and credit in the trust. The constitutions are trust documents. All right? So in Christianity, you're born in sin. You're born in debt. Church and state are separate. At least that's what they tell you. In Islam, you were born as a creditor. Full faith and credit from the beginning of your birth. So again, I don't know what that brother talked about or what he wishes to argue about. It is what it's going to be. In Islam, all of this is together. I don't care what anybody else is doing. It doesn't pertain to me how anyone else is doing it. Right? In the Circle 7, we're told to give Christianity back to the Christians. But, this brother, he's trying to say that however Christianity is pushing it is the way Islam should push it, or whatever the brother's saying. We ain't into all of that. Who is it trying to get up here? All right.
Hello.
Peace for being, sister.
It is an honor. It is an honor. I'm very, very new to this. I'm pretty much, very much so guided by Holy Spirit within. I can perceive the truth
Absolutely.
that you speak. What the question that I have for you is, I'm a
Yes.
Pennsylvanian as well. If you can just give me a very clear and concise
Uh-huh.
outline of exactly what I need to do to become a Moorish national. I remember the last live that you had, or was maybe 2 lives ago now. You had said, to declare it, but I ask you if you can just give me like the simplest, like, I'm not
I got you.
very
I got you, man.
wealthy.
I got you.
I
I
I
got
need
you.
a quick and
Sis,
simple.
I got you. I got you. No problem. So, that's not it. Hold on. You're going to fill out this DS11 form a certain way, right? Saying that you're not a U.S. citizen because you're a state citizen. Your mother, your father, they're not U.S. citizens. You were given a U.S. citizen. Anywho, you're going to mark down that your occupation is a minister and that
And
your employer
are
is
you
the
gonna?
MSTA.
Okay, I don't have a pen and paper on me, which I want to apologize right now because I
I
particularly
offer
have
this
that.
information. I offer this information. When we get off the live feed,
Yes.
send me a text message or for whatever, right? So that we
Okay.
can call, and I'll take you right to the site, beloved. I'll even if you wish to
Okay.
call, I'll give you the university phone number. You can call,
Okay.
and
Okay.
we can discuss this offline because this is what I do. I try to help everybody I possibly can. But I'm gonna
Thank
just give
you.
a general outline, and then we could get deeper, more personal later on. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So the DS11 form, right? Which is the passport form. It's not just the passport form. If you ever look at it, if you've ever seen a passport, you'll see that the word nationality is on it. And so that makes it a nationality card, right?
Okay.
Just first thing, right? So you would fill this out a particular way and you would send in an affidavit. I also have the affidavit that I utilize, right? And you would express. So Jur Ali told us that we are Muslim. So I am a Muslim. My nationality is Moorish American. My religion is Islamism. The religious affidavit of organization has been filed, Cook County Record, Chicago, Illinois, Form 1099, file number 10105905. All members are required to wear fez, turban, this, that, and the third. That
Okay.
statement is so when you take your picture, if you have your turban on, they can't tell you, oh, you can't use that. It's for religious reasons. Same thing as you placing your L, your Bay, or whatever at the end of your name. These are
Okay.
all for religious purposes. So that's also going to be in there as well. And then the final statement is I am a free national citizen of this free national republic of the United States of America. So free national citizen means sovereign state citizen. And I have to make sure to say state in
Okay.
between sovereign and citizen. Okay? Sovereign means free, state means nation, citizen. We are free national citizens. I'm a Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a sovereign state. It's a free state that is in union. So I'm a free national citizen of Pennsylvania, of this free national republic, right? Pennsylvania, right, of the United States of America. So that's the whole national government as a whole. So I'm saying I'm a Pennsylvanian American. That's my nationality.
Okay.
But because I am a Muslim and the Muslim culture identifies their religion, aka their commercial ID, before their land, I would say I'm a Muslim Pennsylvanian American.
Okay.
I'm a Muslim American of Pennsylvania descent. Moorish is just teaching us that we're North African Muslims.
Okay. I think I'm going to do that
So to
myself.
be a Moorish national, you're a Pennsylvanian of Moorish descent. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You got a lot of these Moors out here running around acting like being a Moorish national is something different than being an Irish national.
The reason why this is so important to me is because in the state of affairs that we are looking at in the country as a whole, it looks like it's burning down. The corporation is burning down, terribly.
We got a Muslim in office doing the damn thing named Donald Trump.
Well, as it stands, it seems like I'm technically as you taught by the black or the law dictionary, right? That I am technically black, right? I am trying to make it out of here white.
Right, understood.
For myself and my kids' sake, because
so even if you don't get a passport, if you can make it to your local state state building, I guess you would say, right, or whatever building where they assist with passports, you could just give your declaration of national allegiance, right, which is basically your affidavit, just so they have it on record on file, without even actually purchasing, the identity card. But the identity card is good to have.
Yes, I'm about to say, I'm thinking that I'm going to do exactly what you say, and I mean exactly what you say, because there's an urgency that I really feel in my spirit about this. So there's
Absolutely.
that. I appreciate.
So Jur Ali was teaching us, right? Jur Ali was teaching us that the procedure to become a creditor or a secured person in America there's a standard that everyone has to fulfill, has to do it. So Jur Ali never came and said, yeah, the Moors have to do it a different way than everybody else. Jur Ali actually told us that if the Greeks, the Italians, he basically said, if the Europeans and the Asians are forced to do this, then it basically that same thing must that same law must be applied to everybody. So Jurali was trying to tell us to look to these people who are doing these things so that we can observe and know how to do it according to our own movement.
I feel uh, personally, I feel like wow, what was all that time in school for? Because it seemed like we learned everything except for this, and I'm only and due to like the elections and how about 3 million votes were thrown out. It was like a game that was played. I feel like on me as a black, brown, and indigenous person, as it stands. Even though I know the whole significance about the technical term black, right? And I feel like
I'll
wow,
meet you
I
where you at,
really,
sis. I
I
know
had
what you
never
mean.
heard this before. I never, ever, ever heard about the significance of Moorish nationalism, and it falls so naturally in line with my own, systems of
Absolutely.
belief. It's just like
Absolutely.
mind blowing to me. So I'm willing to be caught up to speed. I'm willing to posture myself to learn, and I thank you for making your knowledge and your resources available to us. Very much so grateful.
Well, to that I say, when I came into this movement and I figured out that this movement was 100, I realized that a lot of individuals offering this information were basically trying to fleece the people. You had to pay for this, pay for that, and then when the people would pay, they would realize that they had to keep paying for this. It just wasn't a complete thing. So what I told myself is that I wasn't paying nobody for nothing that they could, if they can't show me the proof, I'm not hearing them. And secondly, I said that once I get the truth, I'm giving it away for free.
I'm so grateful.
And I've been doing that since I really, ever since I figured out what I really need, what was really meant. I just been giving it out, So like I offer this literature in the same manner that Jurali does. He says this information is free, right? But since I am a servant and the servant is worthy of his hire, you can receive this information at expense. Now, anytime someone purchases, we published about 7 or 8 of the same thing of this manual and whatnot. Every time I get payment for that, all of that literally goes back into the ink, the paper, whatever else is needed. Like I don't even spend that on stuff. I
How
have other
much
means
is
of
it?
like,
That's an invaluable resource. I feel like we all should have it. It should be, everybody in the US should have this curriculum. I need it. How much is it?
so it'll cost you $50.
Okay. Okay. We go out
Uh,
to eat with $50. That's not gonna break nobody's neck.
right. Plus shipping. Right.
Okay.
I think it'll come to 62 in total. To be
Uh,
honest with you, because the
Okay.
shipping be up there. All right. But along with those two, for you, because you're purchasing it, right? We also send you the wise, concise, trusty, common law express trust manual dealing with trusts in the states, right? So that you can now study and understand how to ascertain and assert your trust rights, right? Knowing how trusts work will help you looking at every other situation that you're involved in, as well as what you're doing personally. And so, all of this information that Jurley was showing us is trust in the estate, planning, wills, and testaments. He's teaching us banking. He's teaching us accounting. He's teaching us taxes. He's teaching us those things necessary to be citizens. You know what I'm saying? And to run a government, right? Like you got a lot of Moors out here talking about we ain't supposed to pay taxes. You're supposed to pay state taxes. If the Moorish Science Temple of America was operating the way it was supposed to, we would have businesses throughout the country, right?
Right.
And then those state taxes would go back to that.
Right. I think that what happens with us is we get so lost in the rhetoric that
Yes.
we lose a lot of forward momentum, and we don't have any more time.
So
It's just a little bit of time that we have to get those in the like to get us up to speed, so we're not swallowed up by the demolition that's taking place right now.
Swallowed up. I'm sorry, I couldn't help
You know what I
it.
mean. I'm serious as the Dickens. I'm
No,
not
I
playing your
hear you.
game.
So I can tell you with certainty because I'm doing it myself, right? I'm employed under my national ID, my passport.
Mm-hmm.
Federal income taxes are not taken out. I didn't have to check mark anything for that to happen.
And so, as
When
my
you,
so let me make sure I understand you. So, as a Morris national, you do have sovereign rights to the land and soil, and you're not going to be heckled and harassed by the police because they'll be sent. They have record of you being a national, so parking tickets and regular and things like that
I
are
mean,
not necessarily.
here's the thing about that. They still might heckle you until you actually put that information in their hands. I'm being heckled right now. I'm going to court right now. I have, things going on, but
Mm-hmm.
this time, as opposed to last time, I have my passport and my understanding, and so there's information that I've already placed on the record that's going to thwart, right?
Right,
It's
right,
going to thwart them, and it's not some magic super duper off to the left. No, I'm saying that I'm equal to every other citizen here. You
right,
can't. I'm secured in my person,
right,
right?
right,
The what is it? The fourth. I think it's like the Article 4 or the Amendment 4. I forget. The Fourth Amendment of the Bill of Rights says that the people have the right to be secured in their person.
right,
So
right.
I'm secured. And if you're
And
secured in your person, which is your personal property, right? My birth certificate is now secured. That person, then anything that is a line associated with that birth certificate, your property, your house, your papers, your effects, all of that is also secured because your person is secured.
right, right,
So now they're going to have to deal with that when we go to court. And then I'm not really worried about them running over me either because that's what the whole appellate process is for.
right, right.
You see what I'm
Respect,
saying?
much
So
respect for your mind.
appreciate it. So that's how I'm going at it, right? And I'm not going to war with them. They're going to war with themselves, to be honest with you.
Right, right,
Because I'm not going in there and talking about, oh, I'm pro person, I'm in propria persona, no, I'm pro se. Why I'm not pro se? Because the prosecutor, the prosecutor has all the power in the courtroom. So why wouldn't I mirror him or her?
right, right, right,
And so as a pro se, you're saying, I'm not the person, I'm here on behalf of the person.
right. And you explained that just I think it was this morning or last night. I literally have been trying to, educate myself and soak up everything that you've been disseminating. And it seems so easy when it comes from someone who is passionate about what they teach. So
I'm
I
going
really honor and
through, so
respect you.
I'm only presenting you the stuff that I'm going through. A lot of people they'll give you all of these concepts and theories, right? And then they'll send you out into the world to be the crash dummy to see if it worked. No, I done already made my own mistakes and learned from them, and I've also observed the mistakes of others
Right,
so that I could learn their lessons and not have to go through that myself. So I'm only giving you what I've been through. If I
right.
haven't been through it, or if I'm not going, like right now, I'm working on discharging debt, right, utility bills and whatnot. And I have a brother who, I've already told him, like, I'll give you some bread, bro. I just need you to come sit, talk to me, explain. Because this brother here in Pittsburgh, right? I'm in Pittsburgh. This
Okay, I'm
brother
not
had,
far from Pittsburgh. I'm not far from Pittsburgh. Praise the. Oh yes, I'm with you.
where you at?
I'm 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 out here in the U. You know,
Uniontown?
yeah. Damn,
Okay, all right.
you got me out here on
My apologies. My
social media.
apologies.
Damn it. But yes, I'm
My
out here.
apologies, Lord.
So
But just know and feel protected. Know and feel protected, okay?
so be it. I will especially feel
So
protected after I get this precious, my precious sovereignty restored. How about that?
so you must know it and believe it to be true.
Yes.
That's why it's important to know what it's all talking about. Because once you know it and believe it to be true, then you can speak it.
So
The
be it. So be
card,
it.
the book, all of these things are, they are assistants. They are tools, but they are good to have. Drew Ali told you to get them shits. But once you understand it, you'll be able to speak it with or without.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once you know it, like I know this is not just a passport. I know that this is an international traveler's permit. I know
Right.
that this is a lifelong open and concealed carry license gun permit. See, in the system, it has to read as a permit, as a permission. But what it
Yes.
really is your exercise of right. And you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Jesus said, look, man, I call myself the Son of Man, right? He said, but is it not written in your book? So he basically said, my nigga,
Right. Right.
the shit it applies here, right? So just, it's a
100%.
permit to them, but it's an expressed right to us. You
I'm
see what I'm
here
saying?
for it. Yes.
Right. So I already know what I'm dealing with. I don't pay certain stores that I go to. I go right up to the cashier and they're telling me, yeah, this is a tax exempt sale, and they handle my passport.
Wow.
And they
And
read,
also,
they type it in. I have the receipts. I actually have videos as well. I have
what
the
about
receipts and whatnot where it shows that
what
my
about tenant?
passport number was entered and it is recognized as a tax exemption certificate number. No one ever told me that.
Right.
But
What
this
about
was this
tenant
was me.
landlord? What about tenant landlord dynamics being a national and or Moorish national?
So with myself, my brother is my landlord.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, and when you bring this type of information to family, they ain't really trying it.
Right. Right.
So I didn't even bring it to them. I give them the cash. Here, bro, this is what you want every month, whatever. But like what I'm going to tell you, right? Once I figure out how to do this stuff with the utilities, I'm
Yeah.
going to go to my brother, and now I have something to bargain with.
Okay.
Hey, bro, I'll show you because I know he has a couple of houses. Hey, bro, I'll show you how to knock all your utilities off. You got to cut my rent, bro.
The knowledge it's invaluable. It's invaluable.
And
Facts.
so I'm going to show my brother, look, bro, this is what it is, right? And I'm not here to save him because you can't save everyone. You can only save yourself. But I'm going
Right.
to show him by example, look, bro, this time I'm getting down. And then maybe he'll be like, yo, bro, what else?
Right. Well,
Right?
irregardless, right now because of the immigration situation, we're still going to need to have those quote unquote real IDs. It's either become a national and/or Moorish national, as per my understanding, or go to the DMV and get that real ID, which is different than the driver's license. You only got a few options here,
Drew Ali is telling you to become a state citizen. That's
and
all he's
so be
telling
it.
you to do. Right. State and nation are the same. So a statesman and a national are one and the same. So Moorish national just means creditor national.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like we're peeling back the layers. Uh, During the time of Drew Ali, it was Moorish National Laundry, Moorish National Express, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? We can still do that. That's no problem. But like my business is the American Nationals Uniform Economic Reform Administration. The word
Okay.
Moorish isn't even in there.
Okay.
Because in these days and times, I understand that, yes, to say that I'm Moorish, I'm basically saying that, hey, I'm of North African descent, but understanding that in Islamic culture, I'm really just saying I'm a Muslim. And the word Muslim just means creditor.
Okay. Okay.
So in English, I could just say, hey, I'm a creditor. I'm a Pennsylvanian.
Right.
You see that?
Yeah.
The God
Yeah.
or the Allah of my forefathers is Pennsylvania. And I must come in the name of God, a Pennsylvanian.
I
And the
see the
great
marriage.
God, and
I
the
see the
great God
marriage
is
of the
America.
religion. I see the marriage of the religion and the state. That's what the previous guy that was on, he couldn't see that. He couldn't see that marriage right there. That one,
Uh,
that sameness.
so when I start talking about people's favorites, that's how they get.
Okay.
So I don't know. I might have, the brother came. He seemed like he wanted to genuinely learn something, but then one of these issues that a lot of these Moors get is they want to come and start teaching you.
Right.
Fuck you
First of
teaching me
all,
for? I'm not. I'm the one over here to teach.
right. And
If
further,
you
it's
wish
about
to teach
power.
something, go to your page. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
the reason why people like me, who would have been more than willing to learn even 10 years ago, I can hear the sound of the truth, right? You
Mm.
know, I feel like it was about power. It was about, relishing in the power that they had above, the regular black, brown, and quote unquote indigenous person. That's what I felt like this was all about. The fact that how was this not known? There should have been conferences across the country about this right here, teaching and educating about this, especially during quote unquote Black History Month. I'm like low key so pissed, but it's okay. It's okay. As
Give
long
me
as it's
1 second.
here now.
Let me get 1 second to what is this pure wonder?
All right,
Do
let me
you
get off of here.
have the?
Thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome, sis. Remember to send me that so we can talk. Okay, I ain't gonna be on
Absolutely.
here too much longer. All right, let me see. Do you have the button, moon, and star? But nah, I don't have any of that because I'm not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm a part of the Moorish Divine National Movement. My Moorish Science Temple of America is Pennsylvania. All right. Let me see. Do I know? I do not know Sharif Anayil Bey. I have some of his literature. Um, I'm gonna just be honest with you. There's not one temple. There's not one sheikh, whatever, that you'll hear me validate. Because if I'm teaching this stuff and I had to learn it outside of the temple, then it's obviously not being taught in the temple. And you're asking me about people who've been in the temple for years who aren't teaching it as simple as I am. So I don't excuse me. I don't know the brother Sharif Anayul. I haven't talked to him. And I really don't have anything to say to him because, I'm bringing this information back into the movement. They've had their chance. They're not doing it. Right? I've heard Moors like Sharif Anayil. I've heard all these Moors talk about how they're not black, they're not Negro, they're not this, they're not that, but they will not come out of their mouths and say they're white. And I don't understand that when on the SF 181 form, which is the race and ethnicity identification form, right? It says that white is the classification of Europeans, Middle Easterners, and North Africans. Whatever. Right? So Drew Ali told us we're North Africans. I don't hear Sharif Anayil Bey saying that we're white. I don't hear any of them in the temple saying that. So I don't rock with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. It's right there, clear as day. They're supposed to be teaching you your nationality and your divine creed, and they refuse to tell you that your status is white. Why wouldn't you tell me that? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you tell me some stuff like that when that's very important? All right, so with all of that being said, I've actually been on this feed longer than I desire it to be, but I do what I do for you all. So if there are no more questions, peace and love to you all. Yeah, I should have did the mirror thing, but regardless, peace and love to you all. I'll get back with y'all. Links in the bio. If you've missed any of the classes, any of the sessions, you can go to the YouTube page, check it out. Peace and love. You're most welcome.